Hello, hello. All right, make sure audio's not going to go crazy on this thing. And we are live. Hey, everyone. Thank you again for joining us. I know it's a little bit different time, but like I said in Instagram, if you heard it that way, it's all about balance. We got a volleyball game coming up, so we want to make sure we make time for both business and family. My better half will be here any moment, but while I wait, let's see. Can you hear me? Can you see me? And am I blurry? Get this going on. Hola, hola a todos. Remember, si ustedes quieren hablar en español, pasen. Or English is fine too.
Sorry.
Ta-da! Mr. Mom Blog. Caught you. I remember we were on your IG Live when you were at Costco getting gas.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know about anyone out there, but at least in LA, our gas is going through the roof. I'm not up to date on the news. Maybe everyone knows. I don't know. That's when I appreciate. I got an electric car and
Prius.
All right, everyone, loud and clear. Perfect. So today's topic, I didn't even put that on the IG. So we've been really pushing hard because technically this is the last, right? There's no 31st.
Well, tomorrow's the 30th. Today's the 29th.
Still got one more day. But we're coming up to the end of the month. And since Tips tracks our sales, we're trying to make sure our goals are to.
Yeah, so I don't know how everyone kind of sets up their goals. We broke it down and we kind of have goals for each of our platforms, and we set it up so we have a certain number we want to hit for eBay, for Poshmark, for Mercari. Amazon's on the back burner. The goal is to just send stuff in. But I was able to catch our worksheets or spreadsheets up to date. And this last week, what day was it? On Thursday, Friday? I think it was Friday.
Yes, it was right before the weekend.
Yeah, so I caught up our Poshmark and I realized where we were in the month and then how it compared to last month and then what we needed to do to meet last month's goals or last month's numbers and pass it. And so we've been working on that. Our eBay sales, we were having some issues with eBay.
We're still having glitch issues in terms of listing issues where when Tiff will go in to edit, because she's been going through really hitting a lot of our older items and hard goods that I've picked up that are no longer relevant. But while editing, error. And
internal application error. So
she memorized the alert because she saw it that much.
It was like every three or four.
Almost
every 3 to 4.
Almost an exact pattern. It was weird. And the annoying part is last time we talked about us having an issue with our PayPal email being linked to an old PayPal and it erroring out. At least it told us an issue with payment. So at least we knew what was going on. This time around, it's just, there's an internal error.
And then Orlando told us to try a different browser, and I opened up 2 different ones, nothing. And it was just random. We couldn't figure out the issue.
Yeah, there wasn't anything specific. It's not like only electronics. It's not like, only old items because some of the newer stuff were erroring out. So I haven't had a chance to call. Been running around all day, but I'm going to call and sit down and chat with eBay.
So our Poshmark, I did our numbers, and so far each month we've been increasing our sales on the platform. And this month we were behind a little bit. Posh was a little bit slow for us this month.
Yeah.
And I realized we were shy in meeting last month's sales by about $550.
Something like that.
And so I did the math. And then I sat down at the computer and I sent out offers on every single item in our store that was available to be sold. And I made, I think it was 2 sales like within the hour of me sending them out.
Yeah.
And I think it was like $100
in sales. Again, that's
in sales. That's not net, just in sales. So when we're trying to meet our goal, it's meeting our sales goal.
And then also, normally, I'm like today again. All day, every day, I'm sending out offers. The difference is the way I send out offers is I'm at the grocery store. I know where I left off, and I'm going through offer. Then I get to somewhere I'm at for work. I park. I send out a few offers. So I'm really doing sporadically. So a couple. So it takes me almost, like I've said it before, a day and a half to 2 days to go through our whole closet. Well, she sat down and focused. And by focusing and really doing the numbers to put proper offers out, in other words, offers where we're not going to lose money. How long did it take you to go through everything?
It was an hour and a half.
Yeah.
An hour and a half. And what
dedicated.
Yeah, like I sat there with my coffee and my water. And then what I did was I had our closet open, and then I opened up new tabs for each item. And then I just went through and sent out offers. And as each thing was loading up, I went to the next one and opened it. But I was able to get them out I think I had the goal in mind of reaching last month's sales. So I put it out there, and I was just thinking of reaching that goal, which kind of lit the fire and made me work faster in sending out the offers.
Yeah, I mean, it's not to say she doesn't already work fast. But kind of the reason for talking about today is it's not just that we're working harder to get our sales up and everything. I think that's what everyone wants to do. Ideally, we all want every month to be better. But it comes down to your choice. Like you get to choose what you do, right?
Yeah. So
in the situation we were put in, we were about a week away from the end of the month, and we were low on our sales. We could have kept going the same way, which meant me sending out offers sporadically throughout the day, taking about 1 or 2 days to send them, or we can try to figure out how to change it up. Well, that's exactly what she did. Instead of sitting there and saying, oh, he was going to send out offers, I'll continue to do what I'm doing, which is listing and cross-posting or updating sheets, she sat there and put forward the focus. And that's why I kind of put on there for our title for this live is being present and efficient. Because in order to take action, you got to be there. You have to be present. And an hour and a half. No listing in between.
Yeah, I just
nothing.
Macari's so slow, but
yeah, that's another thing too. Is since she already went through and powered through that, it gave me a chance to just focus on. So normally, like I've said in the past, this last time she just went down our closet, whatever order it was in. Normally, I put it in an order and I follow either from top or bottom up, whatever. But because she already went to the closet, I focused on new likes. So every time I noticed there was new likes on something, I'd go in and send out an offer. Since there was already pending offers on, the whole closet. But then also I was able to do more Mercari. So I was putting out a lot more offers in Mercari. We got a couple bites on the Mercari.
Yeah, we did.
Let's see.
I don't make goals anymore because I get too disappointed.
Well, I mean, it's okay. So a good way of looking at goals, it's not saying set unattainable goals that you'll never reach. But if your goal is to be ridiculously amazing, and when you get to the end, you only get to be amazing.
You're still amazing.
You're still amazing. So it's okay if you don't reach your goals, as long as those goals you're not reaching are out there. And if they're out there, that means don't just sit there and be like, oh, that's technically impossible to do. So, I mean, it's okay if I don't hit it. Instead, strive and work as though you're trying to hit it, even if it feels like you're not going to be able to hit it.
Yeah, Nomad's got it right. Set small goals that are easy to do, and they will get you ready for the big ones. And, sometimes making lists of things that you need to do for the day and being able to check them off, no matter how small, it might boost your mood and your success for the day. So like for me, I have my list of things, right? I actually have like my cleaning list.
Yeah, she's a list person.
I love my list, but part of it, I like being able to cross things off. So at the house, I made my own little like cleaning chart thing that I laminated and it's stuck to the wall in the kitchen. But I have it like for each room. I have it by like daily, weekly, monthly. But for me, it works because I like seeing everything that I need to do. I don't forget and I can cross it off. And it could be like the smallest thing, like clear up clutter, right? Picking up things from the dining room, clearing off the table, just picking up like if there's a loose sweater somewhere, but I clear up all the stuff that's in one room, I cross it off, and that is something that I can visibly see that's been crossed off, and it makes me feel accomplished with the task because I was able to see it and cross it off.
And again, she lists everything.
Oh, everything.
Everything. So by putting clutter, it sounds simple, but she likes to have that said and done so she knows I got it done. I did it. Not everyone wants a list for everything, but you can focus like we've been listening.
Yeah.
Right. What do they call it? The power list?
The power list, which is like 5 things that, so the MFCEO podcast that we're listening to, that we're doing the 75 hard challenge with Thrifting Nomads and Kiki's mom. But on there, he's talking about your power list for the day, the 5 things, the 5 prioritized things that you want done for the day. So instead of trying to tackle 1,000,001 things, you can set a goal. I want to list like the most important things today. I want to list 5 items on eBay, 5 items on Poshmark. I want to share all the likes on Mercari. I want to update my income sheets and I want to work out. That is my top 5.
The important part about the way she put that is she skips the things that just need to be done, period, that are not exactly, what do you call it, a barrier of any kind to you. So, for example, shipping. Shipping just has to get done. So you don't need to put it on a list always because it has to get done. We don't have kids. But for example, I have to get to the restaurant to do market run every day, almost every day. I'm not going to put that on my list because regardless, that has to happen. The things that go on these lists are the items that require true focus, the items that you might sit back and ignore, and then at the end of the day say, I didn't get it done. So, I mean, again, lists. I mean, not everyone, but even whether you like a very detailed list or a basic list.
Yeah, basic list that you can. So, Dab Kitty Sparkle, if you could make a basic 5-item list in order of importance, prioritize it, cross those off, and set small goals like Thrifting Nomad said, and you'll accomplish them.
I mean, if you say your barrier is you don't like to list. A lot of people don't like to list. And so for you, 5 listings on each of 3 platforms, it's doable, but it's also a barrier because you're only part-time and you have another job. Well, by putting that on your list and checking it off. Also, when you hit all of your items on the list, you get to say, and like he puts on the podcast, he talks about calling it a win. You finish your 5 things, it's a win. So if you start finishing the 5 things and say those 5 listings on each platforms are on there and you're hitting it every day, or even if you just get to do it 4 or 5 out of 7 days, you're slowly going to be making those big goals of increasing your listings, increasing your sales activity. So yeah, just like Nomads are saying, small goals will lead to those bigger ones.
And Lisa keeps a journal and crosses her to-do list as she goes, adds notes, thoughts, and ideas for her business. At the end of the day, exactly, it's great to look back and see what you accomplished for that day. So the purpose of the goal isn't to just be tedious about it, but set yourself up for success, right? So was it plan to succeed? Succeed to plan, whatever it is.
Yeah, what is it? Plan to succeed.
Or fail to plan.
Oh, there you go. What is it?
Plan to fail to plan to fail. I don't know.
Maybe somebody in there knows that one exactly. We knew it. Point is, plan.
Yeah. You know, the purpose of the list is to kind of guide you, right? So you have something to follow, instead of just going through a day, especially with work, especially with reselling. It's easy to lose track.
Yeah.
It's easy to lose track of your sales, your numbers, your goals for the day because you're working for yourself and there's no one there telling you what you need to list, what you need to do, how many items you need to photograph. It's an internal drive that's going to push you to do something. So if it requires you to plan the day before, if, you know, everyone on here, we're all coworkers. If you need someone to help you accountable and just an accountability chat, like, hey, we told nomads what our goal was for the day and they will tell us what their goal is. You know, we talked to Kiki's mom and Lisa tells us what she has planned for the day, but we kind of hold each other accountable, and we put it out there.
Yeah.
So it's harder to not do it.
Yeah. So exactly that. That's what I was going to say. If you don't say it out loud and share what you want to do, nobody else is going to know if you did or didn't do it. And in some cases that, you should work. It's being pretty much mind strong. But if you get to the point where even if you don't tell anyone else, but you yourself know you didn't do something you said you were going to do and it affects you and makes you want to work harder, that's where you want to be. Yeah. But in all honesty, we're all in it too. Sometimes if we don't say it out loud, nobody heard us, at least nobody knows we didn't do something. But if you say it out loud and at least one other person knows, you feel a little bit more accountable. You don't have to put it on, Instagram, but if you share it, even if you share it with your significant other that doesn't do reselling, but if you share, today's goal is this, you said it out loud. Mm-hmm. It's going to be a little bit more real.
And I've noticed like some people on Instagram will put up their list, their goals for the day, right? So if that helps you, if you're putting it out there in your store in a post and just today's goals, these are your goals for the day, you're going to get support on there. Everyone is really supportive, but you put it out there and you're going to get someone to help push you, to help motivate you to keep going, push you past your slump. And like going back to the sales, I figured it out and I actually texted, we're in a group chat. So I texted him, Jenny and Will, Thrifting Nomads. And I told them the problem and I was like, I'm determined to get this done and I'm determined to send these offers out and make these sales so that we meet our goals. But I told them, I didn't keep it to myself. Instead of writing it down, I told them so it was out there.
Yeah. And again, it just goes back to being present, and also in being present and efficient. In all honesty, something is more efficient when it's focused, right? So if you have, say, one mortar that runs 3 different machines, if you're running all 3 machines, that one mortar is not going to be able to fully power everything. It's just going to get everything moving. Well, being efficient is focusing, so if you just do one thing at a time. Going back to her sending out those offers, knowing we needed to make our sales, and the only thing she can control is the offers. So she focused and full power got those offers out. And that makes the difference. It's because in an hour and a half, she got it done. What takes me on my own almost 2 days, she knocked it out in an hour and a half. Partially because she's better than me. Let's see. Also, I saw on there Joe's computer. Hello. Hope you're still on here. If not, you'll hopefully watch this later. And hello there.
So ThreadEnvy's using the Wonder List. Wonder. Somewhere. Wonderlist app. So I try to do like notes, or I try to do the list on the phone. But I think for me, I like writing it out. I think part of it is the actual physical part of writing it out and being able to cross it off. I think it gives me more satisfaction being able to cross something off than to do the checkbox. But I love it.
And also, I mean, I don't know if you guys can relate, but going back to when you were in school or trying to learn something, if you just read something on a PowerPoint slide and move on, compared to having a printed out powerful PowerPoint slide where you're at least checking things off or underlining, you're more likely to be able to retain that information because you're connecting and doing one extra step with that information.
Yeah.
So going back, she likes listing. It works better for her.
Yeah, like I have my planner out, I have my Post-its, and I'll pull out Post-its and just write my, my top 5 things. And because of how my planner's set up, I have space at the top because I do not wake up at 6 in the morning. So I have that space for the 6 o'clock slot to like write out what I want to do. But I carry my planner everywhere, and I'm actually trying to do better about having the planner everywhere.
And one of the things that you said is like a trigger is leaving it open where you can see it.
Yeah.
So you don't forget.
Because sometimes I'll forget to put things in my planner, and then it drives me nuts later when
and she'll say, okay. And it's not that she doesn't think about it. It's like her planner's in her bag somewhere. And then we figure out, oh, we're going to pick up my mom from the airport on Tuesday or whatever. She'll say, oh, okay, I'll put that in my planner. Well, because she says she'll put it, she might not actually ever make it to put it until way later, 2 days later, when she remembers, oh, I said I was going to put that thing. But by having it open, there's no reason why she can't just quickly just jot it down and make it a thing. In terms of me,
it's all in here.
I got a digital. Well, it's not very digital, but it's more like analog.
Mm-hmm.
But I got to work on that too.
But how are sales for everyone? Since we are coming down to the end of the month.
Yep.
We
got one more day. I thought it was the last day. I was out of it.
I mean, we're not done with today, so we still have like a day and.
No, I know, but I thought today was the 30th. I was like, oh no. And then with the restaurant, I was like, oh, I got to do first of the month things. I got to get going now. But I have another day. We'll breathe there.
But any sales goals for anyone?
And also, so we didn't even introduce ourselves. For anyone watching this later on, we are Sell Quick, Ship Quick.
And I'm Tiffany.
And I'm Hugo. Everyone here already knows we do reselling, and you probably caught that because we've been talking about that for the last like almost 30 minutes. But yeah, so if you're watching this later on, do us a favor, hit that thumbs up, everyone in the chat as well. And then in the comments, if you're not in the live, let us know at least maybe 3 things that you find important to put on a list. If you had a list or if you do have a list, either way. 3 things that every day are going to either make your life better, business better. I mean, in these lists, sometimes they're not business. Some people can work and are disciplined in their jobs or reselling where they don't even need to put on a list because they will get it done. But what they do need to put on there is, say, time to read a book because that's one of their goals, or time to hit the gym. So it's not always, these lists are not always just business oriented.
Yeah. Yeah, same here, Nomads. When we were looking at our eBay numbers and we were looking at our chart, and it didn't register at the time until we saw the chart as I was fixing our store. We had a $0 day.
Yeah, we actually had a $0 day.
We thought it was like glitch on eBay system, but we had a $0 day. But because you ship in the morning, or what was the issue there? I think you shipped. I don't know.
Oh no! So the thing is, we have we've said in the past we have same day shipping, and by same day it's cutoff is 6 a.m. So if say today we have whatever sales came through, I don't even know if we have any sales today, but say we have sales that come through today. At midnight, if we get a sale at 2 in the morning, technically I'm going to ship it in the morning, but that sale is registered for the next day, for tomorrow. So I think what happened was that we didn't realize it is we had sales in the early morning hours. So in the morning, I still ship things. So I was shipping every day. It's just in one of those moments, I was shipping day of. So I didn't realize that we didn't have a sale.
Yeah. And it's okay because then the next day we had sales.
Yeah. We really are. I mean, all platforms are different. Our most active is eBay.
Mm-hmm.
And that thing looked like a roller coaster. It really did.
Oh, yeah.
It was 0.
Yeah, and Lisa's doing good. I mean, Lisa had her road trip, and she put her store on 10-day handling, and she's making sales. So she's doing something right. We're currently trying to go through our store. We have the premium store.
Yeah.
Right? And a lot of our listings are old listings, and by old I mean about a year now.
I mean, again, we've been selling since January of last year.
Yeah. So some of those listings are a little bit stale. They have views but no buys, views but no watchers. So I've been going through and another list. I have my notebook out, and I have one side where I'm taking down the item, and I'm going through the store. I'm ending the item, and then I put a little note if this is going to get sold. We're planning to have a yard sale, so is this going to get sold at a yard sale? Is this going to get donated? Is this going to get given to someone who might want it? And then we have another list, which is, what was my other list? Oh, to go to auction. So yes. A few months ago, we were talking about doing auctions every day. And at the time it worked because I had drafted auction items. And then after those items were selling, it was harder to keep up because there wasn't like a set folder of auction items. It
was a really tricky setup she had going on. And again, she does the majority of this stuff. I just do my best to help her ship stuff out and then promote and all the other stuff. But she started well because she had some time to grind out and set up her base, right? Like you had a bunch of listings.
Like in the beginning when we decided, you know what, we have 500 free auction listings. Let's use it up. Let's use up everything that eBay is giving us for free in our store.
We're paying for it.
Yeah, we're paying for it. So we were trying to use up the 500 auction items and listening to Cindy from Amazing Taste talking about keeping a active store as a happy store. So I was trying to put auction items every day. I had an alarm at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I would make our drafts go live, and it was like 10 items a day. We had boxes in our garage that stored those auction items. The only thing was
separated from all our other items so we don't get mixed up.
They were strictly auction items, but once they sold or once the auction ended, it was harder to relist some of that.
Fill in. And the other issue we're actually facing, I'm sure a lot of you guys out there have seen it. Again, that's part of a big conversation in the reselling community, instant payment. So we had a few auctions that ran no payment, ended up having to report it for non-payment, go through, and then we can relist it. So we had items that were getting relisted that were technically sold. Mm-hmm. So that confused everything. That's a horror deal.
And then the other thing was, you know, when the auction item ended, it would go to the unsold folder. So then we would have to go in and relist it. But things that sell on Poshmark or Mercari also end up in the unsold folder. So we weren't deleting those right away, which was adding to our list of items. And it was harder to determine which one was an auction item and which one was Posh and Mercari that sold. So there's that.
Yeah. And then also, I mean, now we've talked about it, and we're going to definitely be on top of, if we sell something on Posh, we're going to end it in eBay.
And delete it.
At first, we were leaving it on there because in case something got returned or canceled, that way we just relist on eBay and we don't have to worry about making a brand new listing. But the reality is Poshmark and Mercari, which I'm sure we all know on here in the chat, do not accept returns.
Well, they do, but it's harder.
It's very hard to get a return. And for us, I mean, the returns we got on Posh was my mistake. I shipped the wrong size.
Yeah, but then they bought the other size. So it doesn't count as a return. It was an exchange.
It was an exchange. But again, like that was the only time we had an actual case to open and do. By all means, it was our fault. We took care of it, and they actually kept buying. But so with that in mind, it's like if in that 5% chance we get a return, we'll make a new listing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Plus, you've been saving all your pictures too. So either way, the pictures exist.
But we are trying to revamp our eBay store. So that's what I've been doing the last 2 days. You know, instead of like, you know, our sales are up and down for the platform. So we're trying to go through, make sure that our listings are relevant, that the prices for certain items, especially if they've been sitting for a year. What I've been doing is going through opening an item, searching that item to see if the price that we have it listed at is relevant to today's selling price, adjusting it and seeing if it's worth keeping there.
And part of the reason we change is, again, it's kind of like when she decided to do the offers all at once, she was listing every day about roughly on average at least 10 items, right?
Yeah.
For a good long spread. And that wasn't really increasing our sales by much. So if we had that activity going on and we weren't getting much sales, and then when we were getting sales, it was really a lot of the newer stuff she was listing.
Mm-hmm.
So
something was up.
Yeah, something was up. And then besides the eBay glitch, it was time to, again, just take a look at our store again and see why really the new stuff is selling and not the old stuff.
And then as we were going through, you know, some of the items that we had listed a little bit higher, it was relevant at the time, but now those prices are significantly lower. So, you know, taking them down, putting them up for auction, not losing money, but, you know, lowering the price a little and moving it around, seeing if that helps it.
Mm-hmm. Turning an item that was just sitting there and no longer worth what we originally bought it for, using it for activity.
Yeah.
So we still don't use it. And we're, again, at least making some money on it.
Yeah. So our goal right now was to set up, before I was trying to do auctions every day. And then that became a little hectic. So we're setting up the goal of doing auctions like 2 to 3 times a week. And since I've been going through and cleaning up the store, now I have unsold listings because I ended them. Now they can actually be used for auction. So now I have a folder of items that we're going to list.
Round.
Yeah, at least for the first round. So after our live, I'll put a bunch of them up for auction today.
You know, the beauty of it is, since we have to, again, we're doing this live earlier than normal because we're going to make it out to
our niece's volleyball game.
Yeah, our niece's volleyball game. But because they're all pre-drafted, essentially, you can just do it on your phone later.
Yeah. As soon as I receive an offer, I'm checking other platforms to make sure it's available. After accepting and countering the offer, I'm deactivating on other platforms. Yeah, same. So like now if something sells,
we're a lot better. And there's still always things the biggest thing that's been happening, and partially is, again, so Mercari is not a giant platform. The fees are good for us when we get a sale there.
Yeah.
But because it's not a giant platform, because it doesn't have the same amount of funding as Posh or eBay, it's full of little weird quirks that get annoying. One of them being when we cross-post across all three, something sells on Posh or eBay, we can go to eBay, find it, delete. We can go to Posh, find it, deactivate. When we search on Mercari with the identical name, it's not there on our phone. Then on the computer, we put the exact same words, same phrase, everything, it shows up. So for whatever reason, on mobile, we're not getting all the listings showing up when we look for them. So a little annoying.
And then the eBay glitch, I don't know if any of you have experienced it. I talked to Lisa last night. Her and Orlando have had similar issues. But I was going through it, and I don't bulk edit. I was going through and clicking on each item individually. And when I was editing the options and editing shipping and all that stuff, when I clicked submit or list,
whatever it is,
an error would pop up at the top. And it was just in red writing, internal application error. Cannot list at this time, I think.
Yeah, try again later.
So I opened up
and by the way, try again later. It was already like 1 a.m.
Yeah, but it was then the next day I tried the same item, and when I tried to list it, it just gave me the same error. I opened up a different browser. I was using Chrome. I opened Safari. It was still giving me an application error, and it wasn't like a specific every 2 items. It was every 3 and then every 5, and then it was like 3 back to back. And it was a shirt, a pair of pants, and then a VCR, a remote, a stuffed animal, and it was just error.
Yeah. And the frustrating part with that is going through and keeping in mind, like, you wanted to change. So say a plush. she wanted to change the price on a plush, and then she can't. It errors out.
Mm-hmm.
Say overnight that plush sells at a price that was not good for us. Well, we had no control because all we could do is either wait to do it again later or delete it and use up one of our listings, which we were getting annoyed about.
Mm-hmm.
Again, it's one of those things for eBay. It's a glitch. It's a thing that happens a lot with eBay, unfortunately. If you haven't been selling often for a while now on eBay, be prepared. There's always going to be a glitch.
And then with their new shipping thing, I've had to go through and adjust the different shipping.
So before we have a store, so technically it is a business account like for eBay, but we would still individually add the shipping details every time we listed. Well, I don't know how many of you guys on there use business policies, but during the glitch we had with our PayPal, they went in and they couldn't figure out how to fix it. One of the ways they did it was they activated business policies. The purpose of business policy is really good. It's the idea of setting preset things like shipping so that while listing, you click close shipping and then automatically fills everything. Well, the problem is since we never used it and we did individual shipping prices, our business policy is huge, full of all kinds of options. So then now you're creating new ones to try to standardize.
So when I click on the shipping, because we have so many options from the I have to like scroll and then scroll some more and then scroll some more before it ends.
And if you don't know what that is or why, I mean, the difference between the different policies, again, I don't know if you guys use them or not. Let us know in the chat or in the comments if you guys like or don't like business policies, if you use it or if you don't know what it is. But if I have a listing and I put shipping at $3.99 first class, and that's all I offer. The next listing I put, this one I'll do $3.25 because it's going to be a little more true to cost, and then I'm going to add the option of priority shipping. Well, in the system, each of those variations got saved as a policy, so about a year's worth of policies have been built that we didn't know what was going on.
Yeah, we were experimenting with like the different shipping costs. So
and
we
all
had,
that got saved.
So it was like priority was plus $6.99, plus $7.25, plus $7.99, plus $8.25, $8.50. So now we're just cleaning it up, and
all the free shippings that we had in the past saved.
And then we had some that were like priority with the option of local pickup, with the option of some other shipping thing. So now we're going through and we decided that we were just going to stick with one base or one standard price for first class shipping if we decide to add it. One standard price for priority shipping if we decide to add it. Standard shipping, but it's just a set fee. And then our eBay, same thing. We were testing things out, and but it saved all of that. So Hugo's gonna call eBay and see what they can do.
I'm gonna go chit chat with them.
I mean, I went through 2 pages of our listings, and I was getting internal error after internal error, and it was just.
I didn't realize you were going through and kept telling me because while you were doing that, I was doing other stuff with the computer, and then she finished telling me, "I'm not done with the first page." I was like, "What?"
But it's it's a time suck, and especially like our time is money. Right? If I'm spending more time trying to figure out how to list something and it's taking me extra minutes, that's extra minutes that I could have been listing an item.
And then, I did want to bring up, because I did like somebody's list. There you are. Bella Estella. Your current list is,
be grateful and keep learning.
It's a great list. It's a great list everyone should do. Maybe not your power list, because you can't always scratch off all of those, but it's definitely something to go by. And then right here at G Jasso, I never actually used them, but I would like to learn. Talking about the business policies, we're trying to figure them out ourselves. If we get comfortable, we'll talk about them with you guys. But
by the time I finish editing all our stuff,
maybe we'll get comfortable. And then also, when I had issues with our PayPal connection, I called eBay. And I was on, like she mentioned last time, I was on the phone for about an hour and a half, at least. the whole time they were going step by step going through the business policies. So if you honestly want to use them and give it a shot, call eBay up. You pay for the service.
Yeah.
You're paying for it either by having a store. Or if you don't have a store, you're paying for things because of your listings and fees. So don't be afraid to call eBay. Paying for it.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't. Yeah, because Lisa's saying the credit for the listings that have gotten eaten up. I mean, I didn't end anything and relist it because we have 2 days left and I only had, I think, like 20 listings available. Our store is was almost at 1,000, which was the other reason why we were cleaning it up, because not all 1,000 listings were
worth keeping up for us. At least when we analyze our stuff. Yeah. Everyone has different business strategies. There's traditional strategy of I list it and I leave it there until the day it sells, even if it's today or in 2-3 years.
Yeah, whatever works for your business.
For you, that's great. Yeah. And we do have some items that will probably sit for a while, but in our eyes are worth it because the ROI, the return on investment in there is so high, it's worth leaving there for as long as it takes. But then the items we've been taking out are just things that we might make $5-10 on, maybe, and it's just not worth.
Yeah, and then a lot of our items that were in the store were given to us. So from family, from friends, from our personal training clients, who we're really grateful for on the list, grateful for. They give us things because they know what we do. So they'll give us items, we'll test it out. They're free. We'll put it up, and then we don't get traffic. Or we'll compare it with other items that are being sold. They're not matching up in pricing. Is it worth the time to keep it if it's going to make us $2 and take up a listing instead of putting up something that we've sourced that will make us $30? We have to figure out that balance. Do we keep it there or do we just put it aside and maybe have a yard sale later?
Yeah.
When it's not raining, because it's currently raining in LA right now.
I know other people are like, oh, it's raining in LA. Well, guess what? It's snowing and my driveway's frozen. I know. Sorry. I called eBay for other reasons, and they're awesome. Very quick. Yeah. And
then thank you, Bella.
No,
I appreciate everyone in here for joining us.
Yes.
So learn from our mistakes.
Yeah, we like to share. So again, we've been selling for just over a year.
Yeah.
And I think the best thing we can bring to everyone here is share our experience. And from our experience, you can choose to do what we do, or you can choose to learn and not do it. Preferably, if we make mistakes and tell you guys, try not to make those mistakes.
Which we do have something. So my hair dye.
Oh, yeah.
So I went out and I did RA a few weeks ago. Yeah. Right? It was a few weeks ago. They had a sale on I think it was like L'Oreal or one of the hair dyes, and it was this like bright, vibrant red. I scanned it. It was actually selling pretty well. Each box was, I think, sold. I picked it up. It was buy 2, get 1 free. So each box came out to about $7.50. They were being sold at $30. So after I calculated shipping, PayPal, eBay costs, like all that, if I bundled 2 boxes together, it was going to get us a better return. We were set.
It wasn't going to be a major return,
but we were set to make 100% back. Mm-hmm. So spend 7, get back 7, or get back 14, 7 to make up for the price of the item. But it was going to be a quick return because the boxes were light. It was going to be easy to ship. So I picked some up just to test it out. I didn't buy the whole store, but I bought like 6 of them. When we listed it, Hugo was trying to do testing out a few promotions, sales, all that good stuff. And when he did that, the price that I listed the hair dye for ended up dropping below the price that
we needed it
to sell at. So on one of the solds, we made $1 because of those sales.
Yeah.
And then the other one, I think we lost $1.
Yeah.
So we got even.
So what we learned from that is if we're running a sale, which I do run sales all the time, I try different sales, and by sales, I mean we do both markdown, and we've tried a combo of markdown and promotions. But this time around, the reason it caught we caught that issue, or we had that issue, was I just put it overall, give the store, I think it was 5% off or 10% off. And most of our items had that cushion, but the items, those hair dyes, were too close to being true to price that we needed. So that sale picked it up, people bought it, and then we lost a couple of dollars, whatever. But still, it picked it up, and now we know.
Be careful when you're when you're listing your sales, when you're doing your markdowns
during your sales.
Yeah. So because I listed while the sale was going on, that item picked up the sale.
Yep, and it got put into it.
So that was a boo-boo on our part.
Mm-hmm. And just in case anyone's interested or curious, the way we do our sales, or I run our sales now, the majority of our stuff, the purpose of us running a sale is to bring activity to our store. By all means, I want people to get a decent price from us so they could come back and they're happy shoppers. But we also, again, we're doing this for financial purposes, so we want to make money. But now what I've been doing is I will put 5% off if you spend more than $65. So that's a big ticket to reach. Yeah, Ginger here. So $65 in a single sale is tricky to hit. And what that means is a person will probably have to buy at least probably 2 items from us to reach that, to get that 5% off. So a lot of people aren't actually getting 5% off our store. What happens though is eBay is like, oh, this store has a sale going on. Let's push that up a little bit. Just helps create more activity, helps the algorithm, the mysterious algorithm. But yeah, so that's what we've been using, is more to create a little extra buzz in our store. And then also what I do is, so whether you do a markdown or a promotion, whichever style, some people have different things. What I've been listing or putting as a title, because you get to put your, there's a name you put for your own records that your buyers don't see. So you could call it whatever you want. You could put on there, make all the money, and they can't see it. You probably don't want to put that in the sale that people can see. But in the title, which goes out publicly for everyone to see in your store, I've been putting, always remember, we're open to offers. So by doing that, our whole store is in a sale, which means every item is going to have a little signal that says, a little section that says, hey, if you spend $65, you get 5% off. And then underneath that or above that, I can't remember, the title of the sale is, always remember, we accept reasonable offers. So it's just another way to promote that we are open to offers.
Yeah. And I agree with Martha. So RA, for us, I definitely prefer thrifting. And we just thrifted on Saturday, and we scored a few things, like 3 bags of stuff. So I prefer thrifting. RA just feels really tedious. You get good finds sometimes, especially if they're replenishable. If you can send them into Amazon, like, that's great.
Oftentimes it's a volume game.
Exactly. But, you know, we've done well with some things that we've done RA on. But it's the time. I feel like, you know, you're going to spend a lot of time thrifting, but I feel different spending that time thrifting versus going down an aisle at Target and scanning.
Most people end up saying it's a treasure hunt, and it really does feel like it. Especially when you're going through the jeans section at Goodwill and you see a bunch of Old Navy, you see, you know, Calvin Klein, and then you catch a golden ticket and you find a brand and you're like, hello.
Yeah, so Lisa ran a sale on shoes and also lost big on a pair of Nikes. The listing had fast and free shipping. I declined a lowball offer and quickly ended it to add shipping. Good.
And we have things, so the way we run shipping, we do all of them. We do all options. We have some things that are free shipping. We have things that are charged shipping.
We don't do free shipping on everything. We don't do added shipping on everything. I mean, it just depends. I've been adding shipping to our new with tags items, free shipping on first class, most of the first class. And thank you for sharing our story, Lisa, because I got the notifications today.
Always appreciated. Thank you. And then So another system we've been doing, and we've heard it, and hopefully you guys are following and listening to Reseller Revolution. But Chrissy, she was talking about how a lot of times what she does is she charges half of the shipping, so it feels and looks
Like
better.
you're working with the buyer.
Yeah, you're working with the buyer. And some buyers don't understand, don't have no idea you're being nice, and that's fine. You're not doing it to get praised. But other buyers do recognize that that item costs more to ship than what you're charging me, and then they realize you're paying part of the shipping. So they're definitely a lot more understanding when it comes to offers.
Martha, so I don't know how many people in here follow Thrift to Travel, because I was also looking for discontinued beauty products as well. And it's super time consuming because you have to find the right store that's going to even hold those discontinued beauty products. And it's really a hunt.
It's a hit or miss.
Yeah, it's definitely a hunt. And you're scanning every single item because you never know. And I was looking through her Instagram, and she's picking up things that I didn't even know were discontinued. And
the thing with that is, by all means, we appreciate what everyone shares. And I mean, she's obviously not going to share all her stuff because it's time consuming.
Yeah.
And I mean, you've looked.
I've looked. I've definitely tried. That day, it was like I got out of, my other job. I got off. We were supposed to be at the gym within the next half hour, so I spent 25 minutes at a Walgreens just scanning to learn. I wasn't really there to buy anything, but I was trying to just learn some of the brands and see if I could find anything. But looking at her Instagram yesterday, I was looking at some of her solds, and she's also on YouTube too. But yeah, like Jen posted about, it was like Crest 3D toothpaste, which they still sell now, which I still see it, but this specific model of that toothpaste.
Yeah, and again, the differences are formulas that we might not know, but somebody who really likes that one.
Yeah, so 2 of those, I think she sold her for like $200.
Yeah,
I wish we could find that, and then the Sensodyne. The Sensodyne toothpaste. I showed it. We had dinner with his mom last night and his aunt, and then I showed them the solds and I showed them the Sensodyne. And we don't use Sensodyne, but his mom recognized the pink box that Jen posted.
And she was like, "That's crazy, but I understand." She's like, "Ever since I was a kid, I've had sensitive teeth, and even as a kid, they recommended that, and I need that. I need my Sensodyne." Yeah. And she's like, "I know there's new ones, but
it's that different. Pink bottle.
There's different."
And I'm thinking about like the hair dyes and stuff. Like when my grandma was alive, she had a specific hair dye for her hair, and it was like a specific shade of black. And I don't even remember the name of the brand. It was like some Asian brand, but she had to have that color hair dye. And the one time my aunt bought her a hair dye that was not that color, she looked at it with her blurry vision and was like, "I'm not using that. That's not the right one." She refused. And my aunt's like, "Oh, but it's not even, they don't have it anymore. It wasn't there." She's like, "Well, you better find it because I'm not going to use that hair dye." She was loyal to it.
Yeah. I mean, that goes with people and their hairdressers and stuff. Hairdressers, right?
Oh, okay. Yeah. Wow. I heard hairdressers and I was like, who wears a hairdress?
I don't know. It exists. Hairdressers probably exist.
Hairdresser is what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Okay.
But my dad, he used to dye his hair. And he would get, ever since he was young, I think he'd mentioned ever since 20s. I mean, I have white hairs that sprout. He would
like 2.
Yeah, he would dye his hair. And he had black hair like I do. And he went to somewhere where I think my mom recommended because his other place wasn't available. And he's like, "No, I got to go to my place." No. So he went, listened to them. And the hairdresser's like, "Oh, I'll do yours. You look more like a dark brown." Came out, it was almost burgundy. And yeah, he looked like a match head. It didn't work out for him. But again, going back, you know what you like, you know what you use, you stick to it. So that's why some of these RA items that are discontinued are key. My mom was talking about how she has
the perfume.
Yeah.
No, it was your.
Well, my dad had one.
It was your dad's sister's perfume, and I think his dad was always looking for this perfume because it reminded him of his sister, and they would go out looking for it and they couldn't find it. And it was yesterday that your mom saw it.
Oh.
Your mom saw the perfume and they had been looking for it, like when your dad was
When
around.
my dad was around.
That they would look for it and they never found it. And then she saw it.
Yeah.
So, but
different reasons to why you keep an eye out for these discontinued stuff.
So you never know. I mean, pay attention to what gets shared online too. You know, not everything is going to be great. There are hits and misses, but for the most part, the people that are in the community that are sharing, they're sharing out of
with good intent.
With good intent.
And the best thing to do is not take just like, you know, if I tell you, go buy this can of whatever it is, soda water. Don't take it as just this can of soda water. Instead, realize, okay, soda water sells. Let me go find out which ones sell and why. So if you learn that discontinued perfume sell, well, do your own research and find out which ones and why, and you'll be able to find some treasures for yourself next time you're out. Sometimes, I mean, with things like that, discontinued, keep an eye out at garage sales. Mm-hmm. We've seen garage sales where they have a ton of products out, and this was before we really paid attention to them.
Yeah.
But yeah, we've had garage sales where they're yesterday, or was it Saturday?
We hit up like 3 garage sales, and then on our Instagram, I posted about the Squirtle that we got for free, which, by the way, we showed up at the very last minute, and they were cleaning up, packing up their cars because it was 2 friends that were holding a yard sale. One friend was packing up her stuff to leave. The other friend was packing her stuff to go back in the house. As we were driving up, we saw the Squirtle. We hopped out. And when we saw her, she goes, oh, just take it. Because she didn't want to clean it up. And then we saw she also had a extra large men's Columbia fleece zip up sweater. New with tags. For, I think the retail was $65. She gave it to us for $3. Because she just didn't want to clean up. Put away, yeah. So sometimes when you go at the end of yard sales, it can be in your favor.
And we've heard, I mean, Orlando and Mike, if you guys don't already follow these great podcasts, Pure Hustle Podcast, YouTube, Instagram, the works. But they talk about the golden hour. And that golden hour is, I think, if anything, the way I've understood it. Again, I don't wake up for that golden hour.
Nomads does.
Yeah, Nomads gets in there. But it's actually before they even start the yard sales, it's the golden hour. You got to get there early and be there right when they start taking things out so you can jump on things before they see it. Well, just like there's a golden hour, at the end when they're closing, we've had some good finds. Remember the Disney guys?
Oh, yeah. So there was a house nearby. We also showed up when they were ending because it was almost noon and we were really late to that yard sale game. And we showed up and they were cleaning up. And they are Disney employees, so they had a lot of Disney stuff.
Specifically, one was Disney merchandise.
So he gave us everything for $1, and we got like the poisonous apple from Snow White. It was this ornate mug.
Yeah, nice big mug.
It was $1. We sold it for $30. We sold that one for $30. Yeah. We got this Nemo coffee
toy
cup.
Yeah, it was a toy.
Or the coffee pot. It was like a coffee pot and Dory was swimming in it and it was new in box. We sold that for $30.
We got that cowboy cat.
Yeah, we got like this cowboy cat. The other character
in the chat might know what we're talking about.
We got like a limited edition. Oh, it was from Japan. It was a Mickey Mouse onesie from Japan. And they gave it to us for $1.
Just take it. We got tumblers, like ceramic tumblers that are Disney, from Disney. $1.
And it's because they didn't want to clean it up.
They didn't want to put it away. They were even offering a TV for crazy cheap, but we don't need another TV. We have too many TVs in the house. I mean, you would think, I've always thought you could never have too many TVs, but
we can have too many TVs.
We have too many TVs.
But yeah, so this last weekend though, we didn't find any discontinued beauty products. We just found, we went to one yard sale and the lady was just trying to get rid of her stuff. So I picked up the Madewell jeans. Yeah. I picked up, and it was the 10-inch high-waisted Madewell jeans that do stuff. Well. She gave it to us for $1. Reformation jeans I've never found before, $1. Nanette Lepore. But Nanette Lepore silk items, it was a wool jacket, 2 silk blouses, wool pants, $1 each, and then he found a box of Pogs.
Yeah.
So I don't know how many people in the chat know what Pogs are, but
I'm gonna do the wait. If you know what Pogs are, give me a 1 in the chat.
But you got a whole box.
Yeah, I got a whole box for Pogs, and when I told her, like, oh, what'd you do? She's like, what is that? And I pretended I didn't know what it was. I was like, yeah, it's just just a box. Oh, she's like, I think those are called something like Pogs.
No, like, you were like,
and I was like, yes,
this makes me think of my
right,
childhood.
And she's like, yeah, that's the same thing with my husband's, but that's his. She's like, you could have that whole box for, I don't know. At first she was like, I don't know, like $5. And I just held the box, kind of did the quiet thing. Can you do any better? Just take it for $3. So she gave me a whole shoebox full of Pogs,
and
with slammers.
So she had, like, her husband had them in actual containers.
If you know what they are, he had them in their original tubes.
So one of the tubes, it was a long tube, and it's filled with slammers, but they're not just regular slammers, because I took some of them out when I was organizing them, and one of the slammers is like almost an inch thick. Yeah, so that game, it's a very simple game. Literally, just you put a lot of Pogs, which are like cardstock or cardboard like discs, and you slam them, and if they flip, you keep them. Yeah. But they would make really expensive, thick, heavy slammers, which is one of the ones she found. She actually went through. I haven't seen it. I don't even know what I got. There's also a Batman Pog in there. Keeping it. If you don't already know, this is Team Batman. Amber's like, let's play next time you come over. If they're not sold yet. Yeah. Those will get listed. And you got to play that on the floor. Do not play Pogs if you have kids. And I've heard some people say Pogs might be coming back. I don't know, so I'm not going to say they are. But if you're playing Pogs, don't play Pogs on a nice wooden table, because you're going to slam them with a lead piece. But we are up for the hour. Yeah, we actually have to get ready, change, and apparently now we have to get Rain ready to go see the volleyball game. So thank you, everyone, for joining us. We appreciate all of you. And then if you're not already following us on Instagram, you can follow us on Instagram, and you can DM us on there. Any questions you have, we like to do questions, chat, whatever. Yeah, and then we've been putting up a lot of different videos. We decided to share more of our other life. Our other life is fitness, both for ourselves and for fitness. Oh, I heard you say fitness. I probably did. But we're trying to share that. So we're not going to flood our feed with it, but we'll post that, stories, at least maybe 1 or 2 stories a day about what we're doing, training, or what we do for ourselves. Hopefully you guys like that. And if you have questions on fitness, go ahead and DM us. Mm-hmm. And don't forget, hit that like. And if you can and find any of our videos, this one or any other ones, share it with friends and family. And hit the like. Yeah, and hit the like. And we like to be motivating. So a lot of our stuff is not always just reselling. You can apply a lot of what we got going on in general life. Lisa, I'm already done with my gallon. I know. We do have to do our second workout, but we're going to work out after the volleyball game and then drink more water. Yeah, this whole fasted thing makes drinking water real easy. All right. All right, everyone. Have a great day, and we will see you not next week for me. Sorry. Oh, side note, I'm going to be alone for a week. She's leaving me. So you guys should all text him and message him and DM him and flood him with messages. But bring him on, because I'm going to be moping around hugging bunnies and rabbits thinking of her. Which doesn't sound very bad. Bunnies and rabbits? Rabbits and cats? I meant rabbits and cats. All right, everyone. Delirious. Okay. Thank you for joining us. We will see you later. Bye-bye.